It's been a while. How have you been? My dad and wife came to my mom's funeral. Nice of you to show up after you did that. My voice was bitter. They didn't seem to notice at all. Well, it's my wife's funeral. I have to come, don't I? I came for the inheritance, though. Hearing what my dad said, I couldn't stop laughing. I hate to break it to you, but you won't be getting anything from Mom. My name is Michael. I'm a 32-year-old businessman. I've been married to my wife, Emma, for 2 years. We were both representatives of partner companies. Through work projects, we met countless times and began getting closer to each other until we eventually began dating. I confessed to her, but I wasn't sure whether she'd say yes, because she was 10 years younger than me. Are you alright with dating someone as old as me? I asked her. I don't care about age. I like you, Michael, she replied, looking me right in the eyes. We didn't feel embarrassed while expressing our feelings for each other. I was thrilled. She captivated me. We began dating. I eventually proposed, and we got married. When I met her parents, they were very kind people who welcomed me into their family. Emma's parents had bright personalities, like her. I really liked that about them. We then went to my parents' house, and I introduced them to Emma. She's very young. What a polite and kind girl. My parents both really liked her. Your parents are both very kind. Emma seemed to like my parents too. We got married with no problem. We both continued working full-time after getting married, and shared doing household chores. Your cooking is really delicious. Really? I'm glad. Did your mom teach you how to cook? No, I learned on my own. My mom doesn't cook much. She's always been particular with the way she prepares food. Oh, she's health conscious? Well, my dad is an ex-model, so maybe that made her more careful. What? Really? Oh, I haven't told you? When my dad was younger, he worked as a model, but he had to inherit the family company. I didn't know. I thought he was very good looking, but wow, an ex-model. If you tell him that the next time you meet him, I'm sure he'll be very happy. Really? I'll tell him the next time we go to your parents' house then. Sounds good. Why don't we go next weekend? My wife was really considerate of my parents. She would often suggest we visit them, and thanks to that, I got to meet my parents regularly. Emma and I's married life went very well, but around that time, something unlucky happened. My mom had an accident and became confined to a wheelchair. Michael, can you come over again today? During the day, the helper comes, but at night, I'm alone, and it's tough on me by myself. Okay, I'll come after work. I was really worried about my mom. My dad wasn't very good around the house, so I worried about leaving him to take care of my mom alone. I told Emma that I would be going to my parents' house after work to help take care of my mom. She suggested that we go together. Thank you, that'd be a huge help. Don't worry, your parents are in trouble, so we should help. I felt like my wife was an angel. Thank you for coming, Michael. And Emma, I'm sorry that you had to go out of your way too. No, please don't worry. My wife is in her room sleeping now, but she'll probably have to use the bathroom soon. Got it. Let me go check on her. Thank you. Is there anything I can help with? Could you maybe help me clean the kitchen? Since my wife has been stuck in a wheelchair, I haven't really cleaned it. Okay, leave it to me. Emma quickly took on cleaning up the kitchen as my dad had asked. I was glad she came with me. Oh, Mom, you're awake. Michael, thank you for coming. I heard your voice, so I woke up. Do you need to use the bathroom? If you do, I can help you. Yeah, I might need your help. I'm sorry about this. What are you saying? You took care of me all the way until university. It's time for me to pay you back. Thank you, Michael. After finishing taking care of my mom, Emma and I returned home. Once we made it home, my wife made a proposal. Hey, why don't we move in with your parents? Huh? Won't it be hard on your parents to continue living like this? Yeah, but is that okay with you? Won't you be annoyed living with someone else's parents? Not at all. Your parents are really good people, so I'd be perfectly fine with it. I was really grateful to Emma. To be honest, I agreed with her. My mom and dad were 15 years apart in age. My dad was the CEO of a company, so he met my mom at a party for rich people. My dad fell in love with my mom's good looks at first sight. He approached her, and they began dating. My parents got married when my mom got pregnant. My mom wasn't the best at housework, so my grandma would come over to their house often to help with cleaning and cooking. I have many childhood memories of watching my grandma cooking. According to my mom, as long as she had her beauty, she didn't need anything else, so she really never did any housework. When I started university and first began living on my own, I taught myself how to cook and do housework. My dad also wasn't great around the house, so taking care of my mom alone was tough on him. I also wanted to be by his side as much as possible and support him. My wife had another reason for wanting to live together with my parents. Huh? What? The truth is, I'm pregnant. What? Really? Yeah. Really? I'm going to be a father? Let me tell my dad immediately. I called my dad, and he agreed to us living together, saying that it would help him a lot. Like that, my wife and I moved and began living with my parents. Though Emma was pregnant and not used to living with my parents yet, she treated them very kindly. She was concerned about my mom's condition and always had lively conversations with my dad. My mom and dad were also happy and complimented her youthfulness and wit. Seeing her like this, I was very happy I married her. Emma, can you come shopping with me? I thought it would be nice if we could go to the supermarket together. Of course. I'd love to help. My dad and Emma became so close, they seemed like real father and daughter. On the weekends, the two of them would go shopping together often. I was busy with work, so I was very grateful that they would do the shopping for us. Time passed by quickly, and my wife gave birth. It was a healthy baby boy. The whole family was ecstatic. Since we had a son, my father was also relieved that there'd be someone to inherit the family company in the future. From then on, our hectic yet fun family life began. At least, that's what I thought at first, but then I witnessed something preposterous. One day, I decided to go shopping with my son. I wanted to buy some things for him. I had to take the car since the store was a bit far from our house. After driving 10 minutes, I realized I had forgotten my wallet. I hastily took a U-turn and headed back home. I went up to my bedroom on the second floor, but then I heard a strange noise coming from my bedroom. My mom's bedroom was on the first floor since she couldn't use the stairs, but my dad's bedroom and my wife and I's room were both on the second floor. My dad and Emma weren't in the living room. I had a bad feeling. I slowly crept closer to my dad's door. I heard a metallic creaking noise, and I felt like I couldn't breathe. That sounds like... I started recording a video on my phone's camera and opened my dad's bedroom door. What are you doing? Ugh! My dad and Emma were both naked. It was obvious they were having sex. They quickly began putting on clothes. What is this? You're having an affair? I questioned the two of them, and they admitted to it. Yeah, well, there's nothing you can do about it. Emma said she loves me more than you. I'm sorry, Michael. Your dad is just more charming. Huh? Emma really liked older men. No wonder she didn't care about our age gap when we began dating. It seems she thought that the bigger the age gap, the better. Do you think I can forgive you for this? It doesn't matter. We don't care if you forgive us or not. Yeah, we will move out together, and you can continue living here with your mom. So you're going to divorce me? Yeah, of course. Then I'll get divorce papers. I kept my cool. It must have been because I was thinking about my mom, who needed taking care of, and our son, who was still very young. You and mom will divorce too, right? I'll get divorce papers for you too. Then my dad said something surprising. I won't divorce her. Huh? I won't divorce your mom, but I will leave this house. Wait, be serious. I am serious. I won't break up with her until I get the rights to this house. So, until she dies. What are you saying? I won't break up with her until I get an inheritance from her. My dad rejected getting a divorce so that he could receive her property. It was true that if my mom passed, my dad would inherit her property as her husband. How rotten can you be? I glared at my dad and felt that I was shaking. I'm just doing what's best for me. I'll squeeze every penny out of that old woman, and I'll live together with my young girlfriend. I was overflowing with anger. Emma, you and I are getting divorced no matter what. Yeah, fine, but if you don't accept my conditions, I won't divorce you. Huh? What conditions? My condition is that you accept my father-in-law. Sorry, that Bobby won't divorce your mom. What? You're really doing this? Well, in exchange for our divorce, I want you to allow Bobby and your mom to stay married. Quit joking around. I can't accept that. Then I won't divorce you. No way. So, what will you choose? My dad and Emma looked like they thought they'd won. For now, I need to tell Mom about this. I can't ignore what Mom wants and decide on my own. I ran down to the first floor. Mom was awake. It seemed she had overheard our conversation. Don't worry about me. Get divorced immediately. But if I do that, you won't be able to divorce Dad. Don't worry about me. Break up with that woman immediately. My mom looked me straight in the eyes. It seemed like she had a plan. I listened to what my mom said. I accepted my wife's conditions in order to divorce her. My dad and Emma laughed loudly. "Tell me when she dies," my dad said, and the two of them left the house. I was so full of rage, I thought I was going to lose it, but the person I felt most sorry for was my mom. "Mom, I'm sorry. I can't believe Emma would do this." "Don't worry, those two will see hell soon." I had no idea what my mom was thinking, but when she explained, I soon understood. No wonder she said they will feel like they're in hell soon. I lived my life without thinking about my dad and Emma at all. I hired a helper to be with my mom during the day, and I put my all into working, helping my mom and raising my son. My son grew day by day, and soon began helping take care of his grandma. My mom looked really happy when she played with her grandson. I hope that when he becomes an adult, he'll become an open-hearted and understanding person like his grandma. Living like that, 3 years passed. My mom's condition got worse, and she became permanently hospitalized. Her condition continued to worsen, and eventually she took her last breath. I had prepared myself for this moment, so I was calmer than I expected. I immediately began making funeral arrangements. Maybe it's because my mom was so well liked. Many people attended her funeral, but during the funeral, I had to meet the people I least wanted to. "It's been a while. How have you been? We came as promised." It was my dad and Emma. "Why did you come here?" "We came here to fulfill our promise." My dad and ex-wife came to my mom's funeral. "Nice of you to show up after you did that." "Michael, men and women can't help but pursue the people they're attracted to. When people are attracted to each other, they can't be rational." Though my voice was bitter, they didn't seem to notice at all. "Then, why did you come here? Why don't you spend this time alone together somewhere?" "Well, it's my wife's funeral. I have to come, don't I? As I said earlier, I'm here to fulfill my promise. I came for the inheritance, so why don't you tell me how much money I'll be taking?" Hearing what my dad said, I couldn't stop laughing. "I hate to break it to you, but you won't be getting anything from Mom." "What are you saying? I'm supposed to get an inheritance from her as her husband." "Sorry, but you and Mom are divorced." "What? I never agreed to a divorce." "Dad, have you forgotten that you and Mom once got in a fight and you handed her signed divorce papers? Mom had kept them, just in case. So after you two left the house, she signed her portion of the documents and filed them. You and Mom are complete strangers, so you won't be receiving any inheritance from her." My dad and Emma both went pale. "You must be lying. There's no way." "If you've understood, leave. You get what this means, right?" A large group of people gathered around us. Everyone glared at the two people who had betrayed my mom and I. My dad and Emma noticed and rushed out of the funeral hall. According to what I heard later, the two of them had lived way more luxuriously than they could afford. My dad's company went under, and he spent loads of money expecting he'd receive Mom's savings when she passed. They began taking out loans, and have even reached their credit limit. They knew about my mom's death, and my dad expected to use his inheritance from her to pay back his debts. When he didn't receive anything, they disappeared. No one seemed to know where they are now. Well, it has nothing to do with me anymore. I was promoted at my job and was given a managerial role. One day, I might even become the CEO. I worked hard to rise up in the company, thinking that one day I'd like to leave the company to my son. Of course, if my son finds something else he wants to do in the future, I will support his dreams. What was most important to me now was seeing how my adorable son grows up. Emma cheated on me with my own dad. She really was the worst. Even if she did like older men, that was unforgivable. My dad was also horrible. I guess they suit each other well, since they're both scum. But now, they're so deep in debt that they're getting their punishment for what they did. I will make sure to continue working hard at my job so that I can live a happy life with my son. Thank you for watching. Did you enjoy today's story? If you did, please subscribe to our channel below.